Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Three spooked girls. Three spooked girls. When you wanna hear about the paranormal, you get the spooked girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three spooked girls. Stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you scream along with the spooked girls. Bring on the slaughter. We on that haunted ground. Spooked girls. The three spooked girls.
Hey there, Spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Jessica, and as always, I'm joined by my favorite ghoul friend, Tara.
Hey, Spooksters.
Today, it is the last episode of the month, so we are reading listener stories. And if you would like to submit a story for us to read here on the pod, please email it to us at threespookedgirls@gmail.com. Best place for us to get them because that's where we look for them. And we will be happy to read your story here on the pod. But before we tell your stories, if you want to hang out with us on social media, you can do so by heading over to Three Spooked Girls on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all the places where you would social media. We're there. You should join us there. We also have a really great Facebook group if you want to interact with other listeners and discuss what we talked here on the pod or just other current events or whatever your heart's desire. That is Three Spooked Girls Official, obviously on Facebook because it is a Facebook group, which really is, I think, what Facebook is for now. It's just Facebook groups.
I agree. That's literally the only reason I still have Facebook.
Right? I can't give up. Some of those groups are popping, but ours is especially popping. I love our group. We have great things. So if you want to come hang out with us, you can do that. Three Spooked Girls Official, Facebook. We also have a Patreon if you want to help support the show. For little as $1, you get a bonus episode every month. And they're pretty fun. Tara and I take turns and we present episodes to one another. The other one goes in blind most of the time because Tara and I, it's like this little giggle that we do. We're like, oh my God, I figured out what I'm going to do. And then we just text each other you're going to love what I'm going to do. And then the other one is like, oh my God. So we've done some really fun things over there. You should definitely check it out. 5 and up patrons get ad-free episodes the day before. So if you are hankering for some Three Spooked Girls on Wednesdays, you could definitely check that out over there.
And Gypsy's out. This is the end of April. So Gypsy's, a couple episodes of Gypsy are out.
I'm so excited. I mean, we love a Gypsy Rose story, which, by the way, weird moment in real time. Yesterday, I went to drinks and I swore my hostess, or not my hostess, my server looked like Gypsy. I was like, this chick looked like Gypsy Rose. And I sent it to people and they were like, who's that? And then I showed them and they were like, oh my God, she does look like Gypsy Rose. Then just one person went, I Googled her. I hope she's not Gypsy Rose. I was like, no, she's not. Gypsy Rose isn't working at a restaurant in Northern California.
No, she's in Louisiana still with her family and her baby.
And her baby, yeah. Not working, not bringing me cocktails at a happy hour. That's not happening. Anyway, if you're a reader, you should definitely join us with our book club. It's the Spookster Literary Society. We meet monthly. We have 2 reads. We have a feminine rage read. So if you want to join us, definitely do that. We decide by vote, by popular vote. So if you are wanting to be part of a book club where you have a say in what we read, definitely join over there because we do it by vote. We meet the last Sunday of every month. This month, Tara and I, we are not participating because we will be, by the time you're hearing this, we're on a boat.
Well, not when they hear this, probably.
No,
but
we'll be getting off a boat.
Maybe. Oh, this is the day you guys are hearing this the day before my birthday. So we're not on a boat yet, but in 2 days we will be reunited. And then in 3 days, if you're listening on the 24th, we will be getting on a boat.
There we go.
Or a ship. Sorry, I don't want anyone yelling at me. A ship. We're getting on a ship. We're going on a cruise.
Big ship. We're going on a cruise. Tara and I are taking a friendship vacation, a friendcation, and we're real excited about that. So I'm sure you'll be seeing pictures because, I mean, Tara and I are like, we're trying. We're not those friends who take pictures. We're that meme that are like, are you real best friends if you have pictures of each other?
I'm sure there will be like some kind of something of like at least the ocean. I don't know. There'll be hopefully something. We'll see.
We're gonna try our best, guys.
Yeah,
we're gonna try our best. So
I bought the internet package, so there will be something. We're
gonna try. We're gonna do our best. We love you guys, so we'll try to at least take a photo. Well, no, I'm sure we will. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and dive into our first story. Tara's gonna read us. Take it away, girly.
Yes. So our first story of the episode comes from Lucy. And y'all know I love when you put titles as your subject lines. So Lucy's is Aliens Like to Go Fishing. I was like, wow, this is different. I love this.
I'm really excited about this because this feels like one of those like kids books, like aliens like to go fishing.
Oh my God, it does. I love it. So Lucy writes, hello, Jessica, Tara, and Kate. I'm so excited to be writing. I am new to podcasts because listening to people talk is for old people. And then she put like a little like smiley laughy emoji. You are the third podcast I tried and the first to draw me in. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. My 13-year-old Lorelai, who also said talk radio is for old people before you captured her interest. Well, hello, Lorelai. Glad we're not boring.
And I need to know, is Lorelai named after Lorelai Gilmore? I just need to know.
Yeah, let us know. And I have binged all episodes from the beginning since November and am finally caught up. So then they'll hear this like in real time. That's always exciting. Now we are patrons, so we have all of those to listen to. Ooh, yes. So many episodes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Anywho, now on to my alien encounter. Growing up, my mom's side of the family would all vacation together in Otter Tail County, Minnesota every year for the last 2 weeks of July. We would all go to the same resort to fish. These were the best memories of my life, running free with my cousins for 2 weeks, left to explore and have fun. In 1991, when I was 12 and my cousin Rob was 13, we went out to the dock around 10 p.m. fishing for the walleye that would come out into the swimming area to feed on minnows. These fish were stubborn. We never caught any, but we tried every year. As we were goofing around and trying to catch the big one, we looked out to the middle of the lake and noticed there was something in the air. Now, keep in mind, this is not a huge lake. I've attached a picture so you can see. I mean, one year, all the cousins decided we would swim to the other side. Yeah, we got in trouble for that, risking our lives or something. I don't know.
Because boats.
So anyway, we looked out and suddenly see this round thing in the air hovering over the lake. It kind of snuck up on us because it was totally silent. This thing was probably about 100 yards from us and looked easily to be 200 feet across and totally silent. It was silverish and had lights all around the edge. It looked like your typical flying saucer. The lights were blinking in a pattern that made it look like the lights were moving around the craft. We were all so stunned we didn't know what to do. We stood there asking each other in whispers if we were really seeing this. It hovered there for about 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, a large light came out of the bottom of the craft, beamed down into the water, sucked stuff up into the craft, and then was suddenly gone. No sound, just gone.
Oh my God.
We tried to tell our parents, but they didn't believe us. I'm not sure what they were doing. Maybe they just wanted fish for dinner. It definitely solidified for me that there is other life out there. I mean, fair. I do have some spirit experiences, my animals acting weird and refusing to enter rooms, orbs, my daughter giggling at nothing, her recognizing her grandpa who died before she was born in a picture, her baby monitor moving in the middle of the night, but nothing fully story-worthy. I beg to differ. I feel like all of that is story-worthy.
Right? Oh my God.
So that's my story. Thank you for hours of entertainment and information you share with us. We've grown attached to you, ladies, and love listening. We hope that we have many more years in the future to enjoy. Aw, thank you.
Well, we love that. Thank you so much.
So nice.
I love that it's like, I love when families listen. Like sometimes I get a little like, oh my God, I curse too much for kids. But then I'm like, at this point, if you're letting your kids listen to me drop an F-bomb, you're fine with it. So
yeah, that's their choice.
Right? I have removed the guilt from my life on that.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy. It works. Okay. Our next story comes from Anise. They write, "Hello, friends. I have quite a few stories, but I thought I'd share a more recent one with you ghouls. I moved into my now apartment in June of 2023. I moved in a half a month early than my roommate. It's a second floor apartment in a 2-story family house in the town both myself and my friend/roomie grew up in. Our downstairs neighbors at the time were an elderly woman and her young female roommate. With that background in place, I can't really tell you if I was asleep, awake, or in the middle. I clearly remember an Indigenous American man standing in my bedroom doorway. He was wearing a full headdress, chest plate, and traditional clothes. He just stood there, didn't say a word. I only told the story to my friend/roommate at the time. Fast forward a few months, my friend had moved in and we were outside talking to our downstairs neighbors. Of course, ghosts were brought up. She had informed us that there were spirits in the house. Cool, fine, nothing new. Almost everywhere I've lived has been haunted. So many more stories for another time. Please provide more stories. We love stories. We want them. I proceeded to tell them my dream/awake encounter. They both just looked at each other. The elderly woman tells me, "That's my father. I have his headdress in my closet." We all kind of went silent. I had no idea she was even Indigenous American, and this was the first time telling her the story. I haven't seen him since that night. That's cool that there's like a personal connection. His daughter lives downstairs and he just wants to make sure you're a good person. Like, that's really sweet. I love a good, sweet ghost story.
Me too. I think they're my favorite.
For sure.
Okay, my other story for the episode comes from Bug, and based on your name alone, I had to pick it, so here we are. I love this. Bug also provided a title for their story, and their subject line read, "Lizzie Not Borden, a true crime encounter."
Ooh.
So Bug writes, "Hey, Tara, Jess, Kate, and fellow Spooksters. I'm Bug, and I have been building up the courage to email some stories ever since I started listening 5 years ago." Well, I'm so glad you finally did. I love this. Thank you. Love this podcast so much. I think I've recommended it to everyone I know at this point. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. That means so much to us. Genuinely. Thank you. The encounter I have for you today sounds like something straight out of a movie or something, but I swear that it's all real. A few years ago, my best friend told me about her cousin. For anonymity's sake, we'll call her Lizzie. You'll see why. Lizzie's mom was kind of crazy. We're going to call her Jane. I love this.
Okay.
I love this. While pregnant with Lizzie, she would threaten baby daddy via drinking and doing drugs to get her way in arguments and such. Worst thing is that Jane would follow through on these threats. I'm telling you this because we all know Lizzie has problems that were due to her mother's mistreatment of her as a literal fetus, and then also while growing up. Unfortunately, the abuse didn't even stop at just Lizzie. Jane was not really a nice person. Not justifying what happened to her, simply an observation. The story really starts when Lizzie met her boyfriend, who we're going to call Steve. They met when Lizzie was in college. She's so smart, like borderline genius. Now, I don't know much about this guy. Nobody in their family really does. We just know that he started putting some terrible ideas in Lizzie's head, or at least her family is sure of it. Her family doesn't believe that she planned everything on her own. It's probably important to mention that Lizzie still lived with her mom at this point. One night, Lizzie decided to get a long electrical cord, I believed it was from a lamp, but I'm unsure, snuck into Jane's room and strangled her to death. She then took her mom's body into the backyard and cut her into pieces, which she then stored in those big Rubbermaid bins in her house for weeks.
Oh my God.
When the body started smelling, that's when Lizzie realized she needed to do something else. During this time, nobody was looking for Jane. She was supposed to be on a business trip in Mexico. Everybody simply assumed that that's where she was, until she didn't come back when she was supposed to. That's when the cops knocked on Lizzie's door. When questioned, she said that Jane was in Mexico and that was all she knew. Then the cops left. And then the first bin was discovered. Literally, like the night before, Lizzie had taken the bins with Jane's body and threw them in public dumpsters around LA. So the cops went back to talk to Lizzie. She wasn't really a suspect at this time, but you want to know what she did? The police knocked on her door and started asking her questions. Is there anyone who would want to hurt your mother and such? Lizzie confessed. No tears, nothing. Just straight up was like, yep, I wanted to hurt her, so I did. Then she told them where to find the rest of the body. She said that Steve wasn't involved at all. He was a suspect, even longer story. Safe to say, trial and sentencing were surprisingly easy for this case. Lizzie is still in prison, likely to get parole for good behavior in the next few years. I know her family is ready to have her back. California has a program where inmates can learn skills/go to trade schools so they can become better members of society when they get out. Want to guess what Lizzie is studying to become? An electrician.
Oh.
Anyway, that's all for now. I will have to email about my haunted high school that left me and many of my friends with good campfire stories for years to come, as well as some truly spine-tingling adventures I've gone on across the world. Stay spooky, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Bug. All right, well, I will hand it to you for our last story of the episode.
Thank you. Our next story comes from Kate, which I always love when it's from Kate because it's like we have the ghost Kate and it always makes me a little happy with the name. Or if it's like our names, I don't know. I'm weird. You guys love me anyway, so it's fine. Okay. This comes from Kate. It says, "Hi, Tara, Jessica, and Kate. I love listening to the show and I have listened for years and it makes my commute to work so much better. And I've even started to play your podcast for my colleagues on the laboratory speakers."
Thanks. That's fun.
I do have several follow-up questions, Kate. What kind of like laboratory are you in? And do our stories like overall, what's the consensus? Take a straw poll. I need to know.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now, luckily or unluckily, I haven't had a lot of paranormal experiences in my life, but one thing I remember from my childhood has stuck out in my head. I don't remember much of my childhood, so the fact that this stuck must mean something. When I was 5 years old, me and my family lived in Essex, England, and I used to have a recurring nightmare about a wolf I named the Big Bad Wolf. Okay, I first have to say, I too had recurring nightmares about wolves. And so this story like struck a chord. Mine was just chasing me. Like I would have these dreams where wolves would just chase me all the time, like through woods, like Snow White style. Hers are a little bit more like personalized. He would stand on his hind legs and his front arms would hang like human arms. So like think the wolf from Shrek. That's what I was envisioning, but scary.
Yeah.
And not in a nightgown. He had been a dark gray color with matted fur, pointy ears, and so many teeth. I never forgot the snarl that he used to haunt my nightmares. Most nights for many months, he would chase me around the house, school, and would always find me when I would try to hide. My dreams were no longer safe. This took a strangely humorous turn when I heard a way to get rid of scary nightmares. It is to think of something that could get rid of whatever was disturbing your sleep, kind of like lucid dreaming. I like this. I might have to use this in my life now. Like how if you're drowning, you're supposed to think of a boat. I hadn't decided on what it was going to be, but my subconscious decided for me. The wolf next showed up at my front door. I slammed it in its face and I turned to run upstairs. For some reason, Old Mother Hubbard, yes, from the fairy tale, opened the door and asked if he was the Big Bad Wolf and beat him with her old-timey stick broom, and he never came back. The way I woke up from this final recurring nightmare is the spookiest of all. I felt myself roll over in my sleep from my back to my left side, way from the edge of the bed, and then I felt myself hit the floor. I sat up from where I landed to be on the opposite end of the room. Now, I was a small kid and I hadn't moved or rolled even when I hit the floor, but I was a good 5 feet from the bed when I woke up. It was very confusing, I know, but I never had forgotten that night. And in the 2 decades since this happened, I've never had a dream about the wolf again. I hope you enjoyed this story. My boyfriend has actually seen a couple of ghosts in the Lake District, so let me know if you'd like me to ask him to write those out.
Yes.
Yes, please. That's crazy. Lucid dreaming or like nightmares are just terrifying. So thank you for everyone who shared their stories today. We love getting them from you and hearing your stories. So please continue to send them in. The place to send those to is our email, which is 3spookgirls@gmail.com. We look forward to reading more of them in the future. Bye, guys.
Bye.